You've been carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, haven't you? You've felt everything, absorbed everything, given everything. And somewhere along the way, you started to believe that your sensitivity was your weakness. You started to think that feeling so much was a burden you had to bear, a cross you had to carry through this life. But I'm here to tell you something that's going to change everything for you. Your greatest comeback isn't coming. It's already here. It's happening right now, in this very moment, as you hear these words. For too long, you've been told that you're too sensitive, too emotional, too caring, too giving. You've been told to toughen up, to build walls, to stop feeling so much. And maybe you tried. Maybe you tried to turn off that part of yourself that feels everything so intensely. Maybe you tried to become like everyone else, to numb yourself to the pain and suffering you see around you. But it didn't work, did it? Because you can't turn off who you are. You can't stop being an empath any more than you can stop the sun from rising or the ocean from having waves. And here's what nobody told you. That sensitivity, that ability to feel what others feel, that capacity to understand pain and joy at such a profound level, that's not your weakness. That's your superpower. That's the very thing that makes you capable of creating the kind of life that most people only dream about. See, the world doesn't need more people who can't feel. The world doesn't need more hardness, more walls, more separation. The world needs you. The world needs people who can still feel, who can still care, who can still love even when it hurts. You've been through hell, haven't you? You've absorbed other people's pain. You've taken on their burdens. You've felt their sadness, their anger, their fear as if it were your own. And sometimes you couldn't tell where their pain ended and yours began. You've been drained. You've been exhausted. You've given until you had nothing left to give. And then you gave some more. Because that's what empaths do. They give, they care, they love, even when it costs them everything. But something's been shifting inside you lately, hasn't it? You've started to realize that you can't keep living this way. You can't keep pouring from an empty cup. You can't keep saving everyone else while you're drowning. You've started to understand that being an empath doesn't mean being a doormat. It doesn't mean letting people use you, drain you, take advantage of your kindness. You've started to wake up to a truth that's been inside you all along. You can be sensitive and strong. You can be caring and boundaried. You can be loving and still love yourself first. This is your comeback. Not because you're becoming someone different. Not because you're shutting down your feelings or building walls around your heart. Your comeback is happening because you're finally learning to use your gifts the way they were meant to be used. You're learning to feel without losing yourself. You're learning to care without sacrificing yourself. You're learning to love without abandoning yourself in the process. Let me tell you something about energy. Everything is energy. You are energy. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every word you speak is energy. And as an empath, you're more sensitive to energy than most people. You pick up on things that others miss. You feel the undercurrents in a room. You know when something's off, even when everyone else seems oblivious. This sensitivity has probably caused you a lot of pain, but it's also your greatest gift. Because when you understand how energy works, when you understand that you have the power to choose what energy you allow into your field, everything changes. You've been like a sponge, soaking up everyone else's stuff, but a sponge can be wrung out. A sponge can be cleaned, and you're in the process of wringing out all that heavy, dense energy you've been carrying around. All that pain that isn't yours. All that fear that doesn't belong to you. All those limiting beliefs that other people projected onto you. You're releasing it. You're letting it go. And as you do, you're creating space for your own energy to shine through. Your own light to radiate out into the world. Your comeback isn't about becoming hard. It's about becoming whole. It's about integrating all the parts of yourself that you've been rejecting or hiding or denying. The sensitive part, the strong part, the vulnerable part, the powerful part. They all belong to you. They're all part of who you are. And when you stop fighting against yourself, when you stop trying to be something you're not, when you finally accept yourself exactly as you are, that's when the magic happens. You know what's been holding you back? It's not your sensitivity. It's the belief that your sensitivity is wrong. It's the story you've been telling yourself about what it means to be an empath. You've been seeing it as a burden when it's actually a blessing. You've been treating it like a curse when it's actually a gift. And the moment you shift that perception, the moment you start to see your empathic nature as the powerful force that it is, your entire reality will shift. Think about this. You have the ability to understand people at a level that most can't. You can sense what someone needs before they even ask. You can feel when something's wrong, even when everything looks fine on the surface. You have a natural ability to heal, to comfort, to support, not because you learned it from a book or a class, but because it's built into your very nature. Do you know how rare that is? Do you know how valuable that is? But here's where you've been getting it wrong. You've been using your gifts to fix everyone else while ignoring yourself. You've been so focused on healing others that you forgot you need healing too. You've been so busy trying to make everyone else happy that you forgot about your own happiness. And that stops now. Your comeback begins the moment you decide that you matter too. The moment you decide that your needs are just as important as everyone else's needs. The moment you decide that you deserve the same love and care and compassion that you so freely give to others. Let me tell you about boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls. They're not about shutting people out or becoming cold or unfeeling. Boundaries are about knowing where you end and someone else begins. They're about recognizing that you can care about someone without taking on their problems. You can love someone without losing yourself. You can support someone without carrying them. Boundaries are what allow you to stay in your power while still being open and loving and kind. And this is crucial for you to understand. When you set boundaries, you're not being selfish. You're being self-loving. You're honoring yourself. You're saying, I matter too. My energy matters. My peace matters. My well-being matters. And when you do that, something incredible happens. The people who truly love you and value you will respect those boundaries. They'll appreciate that you're taking care of yourself. And the people who don't respect your boundaries, the people who get angry when you stop letting them drain you, those are the people who were only in your life to use you, and they need to go. Your comeback is about surrounding yourself with people who appreciate your gifts without exploiting them. People who see your sensitivity as beautiful, not as something to take advantage of. People who give as much as they take. People who celebrate you, support you, uplift you. These people exist. They're out there waiting for you. But you won't find them until you release the ones who are holding you back. Now, I want to talk to you about your purpose. Because being an empath isn't random. It's not a coincidence. You were given this gift for a reason. You have a unique role to play in this world. But you can't fulfill that role if you're depleted, exhausted, and running on empty. You can't light up the world if your own light is barely flickering. Your comeback is about reigniting that light. It's about filling yourself up so full of love and joy and peace that it overflows naturally to others without depleting you. You see, the old way of being an empath was all about sacrifice. Sacrificing your needs for others. Sacrificing your happiness for theirs. Sacrificing your dreams so you could support theirs. But that's not sustainable. That's not what you're here to do. The new way, your comeback way, is about balance. It's about being of service from a place of fullness, not emptiness. It's about giving from your overflow, not from your reserves. It's about understanding that the best way you can help others is by being a shining example of someone who honors themselves. When you take care of yourself first, when you fill your own cup, when you prioritize your own well-being, you become a more powerful healer. You become a more effective helper. You become a beacon of light that shows others what's possible. Because people don't need you to suffer with them. They need you to show them that there's another way. They need you to demonstrate what it looks like to rise above the pain, to transform the suffering, to choose joy even when life is hard. Your sensitivity isn't something to apologize for. It's something to celebrate. It's what allows you to create art that moves people, to write words that heal, to speak truth that awakens, to love in a way that transforms. Your ability to feel is what makes you human in the deepest, most beautiful sense of the word. And the world is starving for that kind of authentic humanity right now. Let's talk about the lies you've believed. You've believed that being strong means not feeling. That's a lie. Real strength is feeling everything and not being destroyed by it. You've believed that you have to earn love by being useful to others. That's a lie. You are worthy of love simply because you exist. You've believed that your value comes from what you do for others. That's a lie. Your value is inherent. It doesn't depend on your productivity or your usefulness or how much you give. You've been operating under a false belief system, and it's been running your life. But your comeback is about dismantling those false beliefs and replacing them with truth. The truth is that you are valuable exactly as you are. The truth is that you deserve rest, peace, joy, love, and all good things. The truth is that taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. The truth is that you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You are enough right now, in this moment, exactly as you are. And here's another truth. You've been attracting people who need fixing because you believe that's your role. You believe that your purpose is to save people. But that's not your purpose. Your purpose is to be yourself, fully and authentically. Your purpose is to shine your light. Your purpose is to live in alignment with who you really are. And when you do that, you naturally inspire and uplift others without having to sacrifice yourself in the process. The people who are meant to be in your life will be attracted to your light, not your willingness to dim yourself for them. They'll love you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. They'll add to your life instead of draining from it. And you'll know the difference because you'll feel energized by their presence instead of exhausted by it. Your comeback is also about reclaiming your power. For too long, you've given your power away. You've let other people's opinions determine your worth. You've let their moods dictate your emotional state. You've let their problems become your problems. But your power isn't out there with other people. It's inside you. It's always been inside you. And you can reclaim it anytime you choose. How do you reclaim your power? You start by taking responsibility for your own happiness. You stop waiting for others to change so you can feel better. You stop blaming your circumstances for your emotional state. You recognize that while you can't control what happens to you, you can always control how you respond. You can always choose your thoughts. You can always choose your focus. You can always choose love over fear. This is where your sensitivity becomes your superpower. Because you feel things so intensely, when you learn to direct that intensity toward positive thoughts and feelings, you become an unstoppable force of creation. You become a magnet for miracles. You become someone who doesn't just survive life but thrives in it. You become living proof that sensitivity and strength aren't opposites. They're partners. Let me tell you what's coming for you. You're about to experience a level of peace you've never known before. You're about to attract relationships that nourish you instead of drain you. You're about to see doors open that you didn't even know existed. You're about to step into a version of yourself that is powerful, confident, and completely aligned with your truth. You're about to realize that everything you've been through, all the pain, all the struggle, all the times you felt like you couldn't go on, it was all preparing you for this moment. Your comeback isn't about returning to who you were before you got hurt. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. It's about emerging from the cocoon as a butterfly. It's about rising from the ashes as a phoenix. It's about transforming your pain into power, your wounds into wisdom, your mess into your message. And here's what you need to understand. This comeback isn't something that's happening to you. It's something that's happening through you. You're not a passive participant in this process. You're the creator of it. Every choice you make is either moving you toward your comeback or away from it. Every thought you think is either empowering you or disempowering you. Every boundary you set is either honoring you or betraying you. You have more control than you think you do. You have more power than you've been using. You have more potential than you've been tapping into. And your comeback is about stepping fully into that control, that power, that potential. It's about stopping the habit of making yourself small so others can feel big. It's about ending the pattern of dimming your light so others don't feel overshadowed. It's about breaking free from the belief that you have to suffer in order to be spiritual or good or worthy. Suffering is not noble. Sacrificing yourself is not virtuous. Martyrdom is not your path. Your path is joy. Your path is peace. Your path is living fully, loving freely, and being unapologetically yourself. Your path is showing the world what's possible when an empath learns to honor their gifts instead of apologize for them. You know what else is part of your comeback? Learning to trust yourself again. You've doubted yourself for so long. You've second-guessed your feelings. You've questioned your intuition. You've let other people convince you that you're wrong about what you're sensing and feeling. But you're not wrong. You never were. Your intuition is accurate. Your feelings are valid. Your perceptions are real. Part of being an empath is that you pick up on things that others don't. You sense the truth beneath the surface. You feel what people are really feeling, even when their words say something different. And instead of trusting that gift, you've been letting people gaslight you into thinking you're making things up or being too sensitive or imagining things. But you're not. You're perceiving accurately. And your comeback includes trusting that perception, honoring that intuition, and following that inner guidance even when others don't understand it. Your inner knowing is your greatest compass. It will never steer you wrong, but you have to listen to it, you have to trust it, you have to act on it. And that means sometimes you'll have to disappoint people. Sometimes you'll have to say no. Sometimes you'll have to walk away from situations and relationships that look good on the outside but feel wrong on the inside. And that's okay. In fact, that's necessary. Because every time you honor your truth, you become stronger. Every time you trust your intuition, you become more aligned. Every time you choose yourself, you step further into your power. Now let's talk about forgiveness. Not forgiving others, although that's important too. I'm talking about forgiving yourself. You've been so hard on yourself. You've blamed yourself for things that weren't your fault. You've criticized yourself for being sensitive. You've judged yourself for caring too much. You've punished yourself for giving too much. You've carried guilt for not being able to save everyone, fix everything, make it all better. But you were never supposed to save everyone. That's not your job. Your job is to be yourself, to share your gifts, to shine your light, and sometimes that light will help others find their way, but sometimes it won't. And that's not on you. You're not responsible for other people's choices, other people's growth, other people's healing. You can offer support. You can offer love. You can offer compassion. But you can't do the work for them. They have to do that themselves. And you need to forgive yourself for all the times you thought you weren't enough. For all the times you felt like you should have done more, been more, given more. For all the times you failed to meet your own impossible standards. For all the times you chose others over yourself. For all the times you betrayed yourself in an attempt to keep the peace or make someone else happy. You did the best you could with what you knew at the time. And now you know better. So now you'll do better. And that's all that matters. Your comeback is built on self-compassion. It's built on treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you so readily give to others. It's built on recognizing that you're human, which means you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have bad days. You're going to fall back into old patterns sometimes. And that's okay. Progress isn't linear. Growth isn't perfect. Healing isn't pretty, but it's happening. You're evolving, you're changing, you're becoming. And as you continue on this path of your comeback, you're going to notice things shifting. You're going to notice that you feel lighter. The heaviness that you've been carrying is going to start to lift. You're going to notice that you have more energy because you're not leaking energy through poor boundaries and one-sided relationships anymore. You're going to notice that you feel more like yourself, the real you, not the version you thought you had to be loved and accepted. You're going to start attracting different people into your life. People who match your new energy, people who respect your boundaries, people who appreciate your gifts without exploiting them, people who give as much as they receive, people who make your life better, not harder. And it's going to feel so good that you'll wonder why you tolerated anything less for so long. You're going to start creating the life you've always wanted. Not someday, not eventually, but now. Because you're going to realize that you don't have to wait for permission to be happy. You don't have to wait until everything is perfect or everyone approves or the timing is right. You can choose happiness now. You can choose peace now. You can choose yourself now. And when you do, the universe will rush to support you. Things will start falling into place. Opportunities will appear. Resources will show up. People will come into your life to help you. And it won't be because you're lucky or because you finally deserved it or because you earned it through your suffering. It will be because you aligned yourself with who you really are. And when you're in alignment, life flows. Doors open. Magic happens. Dreams come true. This is what's available to you. This is what's waiting for you. This is your comeback. And it's not something that might happen in the future. It's happening right now. Every moment that you choose yourself is part of your comeback. Every boundary you set is part of your comeback. Every time you trust your intuition is part of your comeback. Every time you release someone else's energy is part of your comeback. Every time you fill your own cup is part of your comeback. You don't have to wait until you've healed completely. You don't have to wait until you've figured everything out. You don't have to wait until you're perfect. Your comeback is now. It's in this moment. It's in every conscious choice you make to honor yourself, to love yourself, to be yourself. And here's the beautiful thing. As you step into your comeback, as you reclaim your power and honor your gifts, you're not just changing your own life, you're changing the lives of everyone around you. You're showing other empaths that they don't have to suffer. You're demonstrating that sensitivity and strength can coexist. You're proving that it's possible to be caring and boundaried, loving and self-loving, giving and self-preserving. You're becoming a new model of what it means to be an empath. Not the old model of sacrifice and martyrdom and depletion, but a new model of balance and boundaries and self-honor. A model that says, I can care about you without carrying you. I can love you without losing myself. I can be there for you without abandoning me. And that's revolutionary. That's what the world needs to see. Because there are so many empaths out there right now who are struggling, who are depleted, who are wondering if they can keep going, who are questioning whether their sensitivity is a curse. And they need to see you. They need to see that there's another way. They need to see your comeback. Because when they see what's possible for you, they'll realize what's possible for them too. You're not just having a comeback for yourself. You're having a comeback for all of us. For everyone who feels too much. For everyone who cares too deeply. For everyone who's been told they're too sensitive, too emotional, too soft. You're showing us that those qualities aren't weaknesses. They're strengths. They're gifts. They're what make the world a better place. So step into it. Own it, claim it. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your comeback. You've been in the darkness long enough. You've been carrying the weight long enough. You've been sacrificing yourself long enough. It's time to rise. It's time to shine. It's time to be the fullest, most authentic, most powerful version of yourself. And as you do, know that you're not alone. There's a whole tribe of empaths who are waking up right alongside you, who are setting boundaries, who are honoring themselves, who are reclaiming their power, who are stepping into their comebacks. You're part of something bigger than yourself. You're part of a movement of sensitive souls who are changing the world by first changing themselves. The world needs your light. But you can't give what you don't have. So fill yourself up first. Love yourself first. Honor yourself first. Choose yourself first. Not in a selfish way, but in a self-full way. In a way that allows you to give from your overflow instead of your emptiness. In a way that allows you to be of service without self-sacrifice. In a way that allows you to change the world while also honoring yourself. This is your comeback story, and it's just beginning. Every day from now on, you get to write a new chapter. A chapter where you're the hero, not the victim. A chapter where you're empowered, not depleted. A chapter where you're thriving, not just surviving. A chapter where you're living your truth, not everyone else's expectations. You've got this. You've always had this. You just forgot for a while. But now you're remembering. You're remembering who you are. You're remembering what you're capable of. You're remembering that your sensitivity is your superpower, not your weakness. You're remembering that you deserve all the good things you've been giving to everyone else. You're remembering that you matter, that you're worthy, that you're enough. And as you remember, as you step into this truth, as you embrace your comeback, your whole life is going to change. Not because life suddenly gets easier, but because you get stronger. Not because problems disappear, but because you learn to handle them differently. Not because people stop disappointing you, but because you stop disappointing yourself. Your comeback is the most important thing you'll ever do. Not for anyone else, but for you. Because you deserve it. Because you're worth it. Because you've been through enough. Because you've given enough. Because you've suffered enough. And now it's time for something different. It's time for joy. It's time for peace. It's time for you to receive all the love and care and support that you've been giving to everyone else. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a decision right now. A decision that from this moment forward, you're going to honor yourself. You're going to trust yourself. You're going to choose yourself. Not someday, not when things get better, not when other people approve. Now, right now, in this moment, you're going to decide that you matter, that your needs are important, that your feelings are valid, that your dreams are worth pursuing, that your happiness is worth fighting for. And then I want you to back up that decision with action. Start setting those boundaries. Start saying no to what drains you and yes to what energizes you. Start releasing toxic relationships and cultivating healthy ones. Start listening to your intuition instead of everyone else's opinions. Start filling your own cup before you pour into others. Start treating yourself with the same compassion you show everyone else. Your comeback isn't going to happen overnight. It's a process. It's a practice. It's a daily choice. But every single step you take in the direction of honoring yourself is a step in the right direction. Every boundary you set makes you stronger. Every time you choose yourself makes it easier to choose yourself again. Every moment you spend in alignment with your truth builds momentum toward the life you really want. And before you know it, you're going to look back and realize how far you've come. You're going to see that the person you were when you started this comeback is completely different from the person you are now. You're going to notice that things that used to devastate you barely affect you anymore. You're going to realize that you're not attracting the same type of people or situations you used to. You're going to recognize that you're finally living the life you always knew was possible but didn't know how to create. That's your comeback. That's what's waiting for you. That's what you're stepping into right now. And it's going to be better than you ever imagined. Because when you finally align with who you really are, when you finally honor your gifts instead of apologize for them, when you finally choose yourself instead of everyone else, life opens up in ways you never thought possible. The universe has been waiting for you to step into this. Your soul has been calling you toward this. Everything you've been through has been preparing you for this. And now you're ready. Now you're here. Now it's happening. Your comeback isn't coming. It's here. It's now. It's you. So rise up, step forward, claim it, own it, live it, because this is your time, and the world is waiting for the gift of the real you.